All right, we ready?
I think we're ready for this jelly.
I feel like a little kid who just discovered a pile of dog poop. Let's go play in it.
What the hell did you do as a child?
Like dog poop, it attracts little kids with spoons.
Does it?
Yeah. Hey guys, it's Saturday. Welcome back to the den. So, as you can see, we are working on an indoor garden. So, this week we've been really busy running around, going to different stores. If you don't know, this is the Victoria Day long weekend in Canada. Next weekend is the long weekend, which is what, Memorial Day?
Yeah, next weekend is Memorial Day weekend in the States.
So we've been running around just getting different things, and because they've started lifting certain restrictions on things, we were able to go to a garden center. So I didn't get as many things as I wanted to because I wasn't really sure what our plans were yet, whether I was going to try and do like a water garden or like
Well, and we have no yard, so we got to really plan things out.
Yeah, so I had all these grand ideas of what we were going to do, and then when it came time to actual like practicality, it's a little bit different. So yeah, so we're making do with what we can. And the reason why we want to do a little bit of gardening is we're stuck inside, so it's nice to bring nature inside with us. Also, everything's gonna be so expensive food-wise. It would be nice to take a little bit of that strain off our budget by having like fresh tomatoes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're gonna get a huge yield out of anything, but it would be nice to be able to just say, oh, I need a tomato, and be able to grab one instead of...
Exactly, because there's been a few times lately where I've been wanting to add a tomato to something, and like I'm not going all the way to the grocery store, standing in line for 45 minutes for a tomato. Like it's just not happening. So we did pick up some snow peas and snap peas. We're going to plant those today, as well as two types of tomatoes. So one are Juliet tomatoes. They're the little tiny like grape tomatoes or cherry tomatoes. And then we have Easy Girl. Oh, Early Girl. Juliet and Early Girl.
Quite a distinction between those two.
Freudian slip. Easy Girl.
She's meowing right
Hi,
at you.
Sweetheart.
I think she was offended because you called her an easy girl.
Yeah, she's like, excuse me. So yeah, we have Early Girl tomatoes, which are like the ones that you would typically see, like sliced tomatoes for restaurants. And yeah, little cherry tomatoes. Now, a couple weeks ago, we showed our peppers. We literally took baby peppers and just put the seeds in some soil and stuff. So they are doing really, really well. They're starting to sprout and get strong. So those are just sitting in the window. Obviously, if we had an outdoor garden, they'd be doing a lot better, a lot bigger. But
yeah, we may end up getting to the point where we get a couple grow lights off of Amazon. Because it's rather dark in this apartment, other than obviously we're in a bright room right here, but we would have to constantly be moving plants from one windowsill to another just to get it properly lit. So I'm thinking we'll probably eventually end up getting some grow lights, but this is just kind of like a preliminary setup. We wanted to do some gardening, and you guys are just coming along for the trip, so
yeah, we just thought it would be something therapeutic to do. And So we bought these planters from Dollarama, which is a famous dollar store here.
Yeah.
Now, I completely forgot for drainage in the bottom, I forgot to buy a bag of big rocks, or like medium-sized rocks. So instead, we've got these lids that came with these baskets from the Dollar Tree, so I just trimmed the corners. So that's going to give like a couple inches at the bottom, so it'll get some proper drainage and the water won't sit and stagnate. We also drilled some holes in the bottom for drainage, so we're probably going to need a little tray or something to go underneath them.
Yeah, but we'll work it out.
Yeah, and then we've got this one from last year, probably going to use for one of the snow peas. So the big ones are for the tomatoes, one each. Probably the snap peas.
Have a little like trellis type thing to...
Yeah, initially they've got this extra little bit of wire on the side, so that way you can connect them like a fence. But I was gonna bend it back or break it off, and then I decided I'm just gonna leave it because the tomato plant is gonna need more room for me to tie stuff on. So that'll give it just an extra little bit of space. I thought anyway. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
I may end up trimming it off down the road. And then another planter. Another planter. I don't know if we're going to use this one or not. This had Christmas cactus. No, poinsettia.
Yeah, it had a poinsettia in it.
Yeah. And then, so we've got our big bag of potting soil. We have our plant food. And yeah. So, we're just going to get to it. Want to start with the big ones?
Sure.
Okay. So we were trying to brainstorm different ideas of what we could do for an upcoming video. And one of the things we thought that's quite relatable is right now everybody has a ton of boxes left over, I'm sure, from Amazon deliveries, and unless of course you're doing recycling and stuff, but we have been saving them up.
Sorry, the windows are open because it's a nice day out.
So when we got our bed frame a couple weeks ago, it came with this huge box. So what we did with it was built stairs, because Susie can't jump. It's like 3.5, 4 feet off the ground.
Yeah, I'd say it's probably like a solid
3 feet.
3 feet, if not 3.5.
Yeah, so she can't jump up there. So I made a little staircase out of
She can't.
cardboard.
She's just lazy.
She's an old girl. She's allowed to be lazy.
I know. But yeah, he made a set of cardboard stairs so that it would be easier for her to get up and down. And it actually turned out a lot better than I thought it would. Not that I didn't have faith in your capabilities.
No, it
like,
came out better than I thought it was going to too.
When
so.
I picture cardboard stairs, I'm like, man, she's going to use it once and it's going to fall apart. And no, it's actually really sturdy, so.
Yeah, I impressed myself. So for the cardboard thing, I was thinking that I'm gonna go and make a cat house, because we've been pricing them out online and they're stupid expensive.
Yeah.
I bought them before and they're half cardboard anyway.
Yeah.
So
I don't like those because you get them and like you put them together and it seems like, okay, my cat's gonna jump up on this a half a dozen times and it's gonna start to wobble.
basically, yeah.
It's like I paid $100 or $200 or however much you paid for your giant cat thing for basically something that's going to wobble and look unsafe every time it gets used, and I don't like that.
Yeah, no, me neither. There is the first tomato plant. Now I just have to fill it in. So initially I was thinking like maybe I could do like a cardboard TARDIS or like a little castle, or maybe make a geometric shark. Something campy and fun that I could paint. I had a couple other ideas, but we shall see. I'll just leave it at that.
So have any of you built anything for your animals, or are we kind of alone in our little Pinteresty interest of...
Yeah, or have you been taking your recycling, like your cardboard boxes, and doing anything fun with it, making anything, or just recycling?
Who else has been playing What's Showing Up Today from Amazon?
Because they're going to be vegetable plants, plant it so I don't have to transplant it later.
So we watched the new Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
Oh,
The Choose Your Own Adventure, although they can't.
What was
they can't
Kimmy
call
versus
it that.
the Reverend or something like that?
They can't call it that for legal reasons, but it's basically Choose Your Own Adventure, where the scene will start to play out, and then you have to choose like one of two options to move forward.
Yeah, like they did with Black Mirror Bandersnatch.
Bandersnatch, yep. It was actually fun. It took us a little while to get through the different options. I will say this, like, if you are a fan of Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt and you've watched the show a lot, you'll kind of be able to tell what the right choices are for the characters.
But you'll intentionally choose the wrong choices just to see certain stuff play out.
Like, we watched Kimmy kick the crap out of somebody.
If you do watch it, there's an option where Kimmy and her boyfriend or fiance, you have 3 choices. One of them is make out. Choose make out. It is the most awkward, hilarious, gross, yet just hysterical thing I've ever seen.
But yeah, definitely recommend. It's if nothing else, if you're in lockdown and you're just bored, it'll kill a couple hours, because after you've completed the storyline once, Lillian pops up at the end like, oh yeah, this is how it went, but it could have gone differently, and then it gives you the option to go back to the beginning and go through the scenario again.
Yeah, it felt very Wayne's World.
Yeah.
That ending was alright, but it could have been better. Let's go for the ultra happy Scooby-Doo ending. What's that new one? There was a new show on TLC. I saw it and I'm thinking, okay, what the hell is this? It was a new drag show and I'm thinking, oh god, TLC's picked up some random drag queens that nobody's heard of. Because I'd never heard of the show being promoted before.
Yeah. And it's like these
Queer Eye meets Drag Race, kind of.
Yeah, but it's specifically like these people are having a big event like a wedding or a class reunion or some big event in their life, and they're the type of person who has never really felt comfortable in their own skin, and the drag queens kind of show them like how to zhuzh themselves up and make themselves feel better. It very much reminds me of Drag U, where they had like 2 or 3 contestants come in, and then the queens would make them over and try to teach them life lessons on, you know, self-empowerment, that sort of thing. It reminds me a lot of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I was impressed. I really enjoyed it. We only ended up watching like 2 or 3 episodes, but I didn't want it to get too...
Yeah, it's the kind of show that it's good, but I couldn't sit and binge it, I don't think.
No, you could only watch a couple episodes and then you'd have to wait a couple days, watch some more. Like, it's one of those shows you don't mind waiting a week in between episodes.
Yeah.
So, I'm enjoying it though. Lots of good stuff on TV now. Be curious to see what happens next fall with everything. If it's going to delay TV, if shows are going to get renewed, get a second chance because they can't afford or they don't have the ability to film other pilots or.
I'm still sad that Will and Grace ended.
Yeah, I thought it would get a bigger boom, but for finale, but it didn't really. Which is kind of sad, but it is what it is. So there's the 2 tomato plants. The peppers I'm just going to leave as is because it's a self-watering planter, so it should be fine. So the only ones we have left to do are the snow peas and the snap peas.
Yeah, which are growing from seeds, so that should be very entertaining for you to watch us just throw seeds in the ground.
Yeah. Love you.
Love you more.
All right, so the magic of Niagara Falls. Not quite as good as Hollywood, kind of budget. Like the magic of Hollywood, the magic of Niagara Falls. A little bit more budget. So...
a lot wetter. Yeah. You know, Niagara Falls.
A little bit more moist.
Yeah. We've been speaking moistly.
So, we have snow peas in this one, and we have pea pods in this one. Or snap peas, rather. So, either way, you eat the whole bean. You don't have to take they're not like actual peas where you have to split the pods and all that. So we can eat them whole, perfect. Same with the tomatoes.
We peed in the flower pots.
Yep. So they're supposed to be planted like 2.5 inches apart. I dumped the whole bag in and spread it out. Now the reason for this is seriously overkill, and we're probably going to get way more than we're ever going to eat. Hopefully, anyway.
Hopefully.
Because that means we can give them some to the neighbors and all that. But the reason, or my reasoning for it, is because we're planting them inside. Not all of them are going to survive, so it kind of like gives it a better chance of having more yield. So
yeah,
it'll be very interesting. So
just basically dump them in, like, let's see which ones actually grow.
Yeah. So next thing we have to do is just water everything and then throw it in the sun and kind of wait and see how everything plays out.
Yeah.
So
it's our little urban garden, I guess you would call it.
Yeah. So we will post updates and let you guys know how everything's growing, how everything's doing. Yeah. And hopefully by midsummer we'll have enough to make a nice salad or something fun.
Yeah.
And maybe we can do fried green tomatoes.
Only if you're Jessica Tandy.
Well, then would that make you Kathy Bates?
All right.
He's pretty badass. That Oh man, so this was fun. It was a nice, relaxing thing, which Would have been nice to do last night. We had a plan yesterday. We bought a ceiling fan. And the plan was throw the ceiling fan up so we can cool down and then film this and get everything ready. And yeah, I've installed many ceiling fans before.
As
They've
have
taken
I.
a half hour, 45 minutes
half
tops.
hour, 45 minutes. If I have a problem, maybe an hour at the very most.
Yeah. We unscrewed the light fixture that was in the apartment and discovered that nothing was up to code, everything's hanging down. So it was just an absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
And it took me 3.5 hours to install it, and by the time I was done, I was done.
Yeah, I've never seen you that frustrated or upset before.
Yeah, it was. I don't like getting that frustrated or upset, but I was done. I refused to be defeated by a ceiling fan, so it's up, it's working. It would have been a good one to catch on film, though. I was a raving maniac.
Oh my God! Yeah, you were calling it some choice names.
So I think that will do it for us this week. Yeah.
Yep. Hopefully, we'll have something a little more in depth for you guys next week.
Yeah, and wish me luck. I have 2 more ceiling fans to install, one in the kitchen and one in the bedroom.
Yeah,
so.
that's on the agenda for tonight. So.
It's going to be a long weekend.
Some people go out to the club on a Saturday night, but we just sit at home and put up ceiling fans and plant things.
You work up just as much of a sweat putting up a ceiling fan as you would out at a club.
Yeah, and then you don't have to worry about getting your ass home after you've worked up a sweat. You're already home, so.
Pretty much. So, yeah. See you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.